Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Life's a Lie, that podcast you listen to every now and again. You know, with those two guys you like, Bray, my friend here, Rye.
Hey, it's me. What's up? How are you, Bray?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm pretty good. It's December 28th, a couple days after Christmas, a couple days before the New Year.
After a couple days after the New Year?
A couple days before the New Year?
Before the New Year.
Before the New Year.
After Christmas.
Yeah.
The holidays.
It is.
Did you have a good Christmas?
I did. What about you? Did you have a good one?
I had a wonderful Christmas. I hope everyone listening had a great Christmas. It's been a while since we've checked in with our people on the internet.
Yes.
And I think last time I did mention I was going to be doing some trucking. And that is what happened. I did some trucking out in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, it's been fun.
You were out, where's the area in Utah, would you say?
It's the Uinta Basin, I would call it, is the most known name around the parts of Utah or the United States. But a lot of oil comes from there, and there's not a lot there, a lot of empty roads. But learned how to truck out there.
What was your lodging like?
Oh, I lived in a trailer. That was wonderful. It was very cold. Sometimes I ran out of propane in the trailer, and it was very cold in the morning. But hey, I got through it.
Your heat went out one night, and you woke up to just your breath. You saw your breath as you exhaled.
Just 3 a.m, woke up. Oh, man, it's kind of cold. I had 6 blankets on. It didn't even matter.
Oh
I was
my
like,
God.
I had to get up and just go change it.
That's miserable.
Yeah, I have a whole 92 BMW I drive. Doesn't have great heat. Doesn't have great traction either. But she made it as well.
She made it there and back. Just fine.
I can't believe it, actually.
What did you think was what was like in your head? You're like, what's gonna give out? You're gonna lose a tire. You're gonna throw a rod. Just something crazy.
Yeah, something crazy. I don't know.
It's an old car.
It's a way old car. I can't believe it chugs like it does. 1992.
That's all reliable, man.
Old reliable.
I remember we used to have a friend, Hayden, who
Yeah.
would like swear by those old 90s BMWs of being like...
Right. He was the one who sent the car to me.
Yeah.
So... But, yeah, I guess there's a reason he swears to it, because they are very old and reliable. I don't know. Yeah. That's all there is to it. They're tanks.
How many miles does it have?
Oh, 182,000, I think.
Yeah.
So a considerable amount.
Yeah.
I need to change the oil on it.
Yeah.
Those things will go forever without an oil change, I feel like.
Hell yeah.
Should still probably change it, but...
It's always a good thing. This is your reminder to change your oil in your car if you haven't.
Daily reminder. I know your oil. I know you're overdue, too, okay? I know you are.
So you're human like the rest of us.
I know you were postponing it. You had Christmas, getting all those gifts for everyone. I understand. You did get your oil changed.
Yeah. Who do you recommend? Do you ever recommend? You just do it yourself.
Yeah, but
You
just go do it. Like, go have someone do it. It's really not that expensive anymore.
Right.
I don't know. If it's like $40, it's like,
Yeah. If you know they're doing a good job, if you know it's a respectable place.
Yes.
Not just like the local...
Not the local Jiffy Lube. Local
We just go to war with local Jiffy.
Yo, fuck these guys. We Target.
They're just standing out in the cold. Just like everyone else in this season. Just doing their best.
Right.
But really, your oil is just a YouTube video away from being changed by yourself, knowing it's done right, knowing you're using good oil.
Exactly. Very easy. Not hard to do at all. I would highly recommend.
One time it took like 30 minutes of me and you.
Yeah, I messed up, dude. I couldn't get the oil thing off the filter and had some issues, but hey, we did it eventually.
We had a wrench on it.
Had a wrench, like a screwdriver. I was getting that thing out, man. Eventually, I got it. Once I turned it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds pretty basic. Understanding
It's a process. It's a process. So trucking.
Right.
Didn't you? Okay, tell me about the bridge though, because that was stressful. You had to ride across a couple of bridges. right?
Right. So where we were driving, it was basically a school where I got my CDL out in Vernal, Utah, and he took us all over the place. So we drove just about everywhere, and where that was the Flaming Gorge Dam, and it's really really narrow in there, and we were pulling like a semi with a trailer, so it was really long and not easy and very scary. And I took a video of it because I thought it was scary. Not when I was driving, of course, but when someone else was driving. But yeah,
it was really hard because I was filming it the entire time with my other hand.
Yeah, just one hand was shifting, the other hand was filming. It was crazy. But yeah, so and there was like sheer drops, so you had to be really careful. But
Yeah.
it was scary. My heart was pumping.
I mean that's terrifying, dude. You're in a giant
Giant
thing.
truck.
What's that like to move?
They're not too hard to maneuver. It's just like you have to really focus on things that are ahead of you, and yeah, you just have to be really really aware of everything, and if someone else makes a mistake, you'll have to cover for that, and people don't realize how much like bigger and slower we are than a normal car, and like one thing that they can do can really fuck us over, and like we're just trying to work. We don't care about what you're doing. Like that's not the idea. Most truck drivers don't drive that fast anyway. We're just trying to like be passive and not cause any stupid mistakes or wrecks or anything.
Yeah. You're just trying to get to point A to point B. It's just everyone else who's driving, who's in a rush all the time, who's trying to get to the place as quickly as they need to, or they're late.
Going around you, or like on their phones, not paying attention. Just there's a semi, I'll pass him, like whatever. And it's like, yeah, that's what it is. But there's like cutting them off, or like pulling up on the right when they have to turn, stuff like that it can really screw, or I don't know, can cause accidents or all sorts of shit. So
yeah, because you can't, like in a car you stop quick, like you do when you hit the brakes, like you stop quick. But you're a small car. When you're a truck,
when you're a truck with a heavy load and you cut me off, and like there's nothing I can do. There's like all I can do is really step on my brakes to stop that, and like almost causing a wreck with something so stupid like that. I don't know. There's a lot of things that can happen, especially when like turns and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. You just have to be really cautious when you drive. Just take things slow.
It's true. We were driving. A couple weeks ago we had like a road trip.
Yeah.
And you and I, we were talking about how crazy it is that we could like drive, like because relatively speaking, that's like a new thing in the grand scale of like humanity.
Sure. Yeah.
Small percentage of humanity has been able to drive like we are able to, just whenever, just casually.
Traveling miles easily.
Yeah.
We could say.
Traveling miles per hour in a speeding box.
Right. We have a measurement of it, which is interesting. But yeah, I see. Yeah.
That's crazy.
It is pretty wild.
Like, but that means that we have the opportunity to just do something so tremendously small and fuck up everything very quickly in a car. Like accidents are just so easy, and it's just so shitty because it's just one mistake. But when you're in a car, it's like an 80 mile per hour mistake.
Right. Or even like a mistake in an intersection, or like it doesn't matter what the mistake is, but your like 10-minute run to the gas station can cost you some shit, like if you're not paying attention. Not that I'm trying to make this like a put your seatbelt on commercial, but
honestly though, if like the seatbelt thing didn't beep at me so annoyingly, I would never wear it. And so it's like I'm so glad that feature's there, because that sucks. Because yeah, the seatbelts are scary.
I've always liked wearing my seatbelt. It never bothered me.
Yeah,
you just like grow up wearing it, and you're like, yeah, all right.
Yeah, I respect that. I don't know.
I understand. Not a fan of the belt.
No, I support the belt.
We need to support the belt.
I support the belt.
You don't support the belt because you ride a motorcycle. You don't need a belt.
There's no belt on the motorcycle.
Belt. Badass. Bikers don't need belts. What's the logic there? Actually, I guess that makes a little bit of sense.
Oh yeah, truly. Oh man.
Being strapped to the seat and Yeah, that would not be good.
I got a little baby Yoda, a little child
I saw
that I
that.
want to put on the back of my motorcycle when I roll it out next
He
season.
needs to hold on to you with like a bungee cord.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know, because
Some
then
sort of
yeah,
backpack.
yeah, probably a backpack's the way to go. That'd be cool.
Hang on to the bike. I'm sure a lot of people will love that.
Yeah, I just miss my motorcycle. I miss riding it. It's too cold. I
It's
hate this
way
cold.
too cold.
The wind just chills straight through you.
We wouldn't have to deal with wind if we didn't have the mountains. So there's a trade-off here.
Those mountains are so worth looking at, though. I mean, like, at my job, like, I just get a good view of just Timp, and I just look at it every day.
Mm-hmm.
And that day that it went up in flames was, like, the worst day of work
Of
ever.
work
Because I just
ever.
was sitting outside, and my whole shift for 8 hours, I just watched it burn.
Just slowly, just
I
no.
was like, oh,
don't
look, there's another
burn.
plane dropping water on it, and it just drops, and it just looks like it's
Doing
dropping
anything.
like, droplets on it. It's tons of water, but it's just simply not enough for how giant that fire was.
Hopefully it grows back. Payson Canyon was a canyon that burned down a while back, and it is. I don't know. Have you been up there recently?
Yeah, I rode my bike up there like 2 months ago.
How's it look? I mean, it's still pretty burnt towards the top, but
Yeah, there's a good section that's like you know where it was, but
yeah,
I mean it's nature. It's as old as anything, outside. It's like it's been burnt, it's been destroyed, but it regrows. It just takes time.
right.
We're just living small fractions of time. But to nature, it's just I don't know,
doing
like a
its
give and
thing.
take. Yeah, for sure. It's just doing its thing.
Humanity might speed that up a little, but
Because lightning strikes cause a fair amount of wildfires
Uh-huh.
all the time, and it's like that happened before humans were dumb
and also just lighting stuff on fire to light stuff on fire.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure humans have been they've been doing that forever, right? Since
Sure.
we discovered fire, it was like, holy shit, we should light that on fire.
I'm sure the cavemen didn't start fires with fireworks, though.
Nah, or at shooting ranges.
Or shooting ranges or wherever else. Wherever else. Humans aren't the best, but we try.
What inhuman encounters did you have? What? There's some weird energy out there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, where there's not a lot of people. It's not a populated area. It's rural. It's very I don't know.
it was a very unpopulated area, and a lot of people won't know where it is. People may have heard this name online, but I went to the Skinwalker Ranch while I was there. It's out in it's on an Indian reservation out there. But I did go there, and I went to the front gate, and I was there, because I don't know. I guess a lot of locals like to talk about the legend or whatever. And while I was staying there, the people I was staying with told me they would take me there, so I went. And there's like cameras everywhere, like all over the fences and all over the place, and it's a pretty big like amount of property. But there's cameras all over the whole thing. Like, we went over one side and then took a different road and went over the other, and there were still, like, every other fence post, like 20 feet, cameras everywhere, and like signs. And I've heard all sorts of crazy stories there. But yeah, I did take some pictures though.
That's way cool. Did you see anyone? Did anyone tell you that they like had met a skinwalker or seen one?
No,
Like they had an encounter.
I didn't meet anyone personally that say that they had like a personal interaction with a skinwalker, but it seemed like they all believed in that kind of stuff pretty heavily. That people were telling me stories about like bad omens and things like that, and like they had to sage them, or she had a word for it. If it comes to mind, I'll say it. But something about like rubbing sage on them to like get bad spirits and things like that off. But
For
that
sure.
are like related out there. Another big one out there, that the only other big one that was mentioned aside from skinwalkers were the water babies out there.
Oh, what the hell's a water baby?
So apparently a long time ago, a lot of people were killed in the area, as well as like babies and other things, when I guess I don't know who it was, but apparently there was like a long story about it. And they say if you go by the water at night, on a certain river that ran through there, the babies would cry, lure you to the water, and drown you. So I was told not to go to the water at night, and they were all very adamant about that one as well. Almost more so than the skinwalkers.
Right, water at night.
Yeah.
No,
bad.
no.
Yeah.
Bad, stay away.
Uh-huh.
Probably. I mean, all of America
some
is
people
like,
were.
Full of massacred land, and so it makes sense that there's unrested stuff.
Definitely.
And it makes, I don't know, I could see it in more of a body of water.
Do you believe
like
in that?
I don't know. Why not? I don't know.
Why
I don't see why that's like so out there. And it's like, I don't know, when terribly traumatic things happen, like it has to leave something. It has to leave some kind of impression. It doesn't just like
sort
disappear
of print in the universe.
Yeah. Or like some kind of like echo through
time, space,
right? Where it's here. It's like
consciousness of some sort.
Yeah, I don't know. You feel things in different areas, and I think it's for reasons like that.
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
Not only the reasons why things are bad, but like great things as well, like other places, like beautiful places or what have you.
Right. There's a give and take. Like if there's if there's a bad energy, if there can be these hellish things, then there has to be these good energies. There has to be that opposite, that contrast of it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, water baby's scary, not good.
Yeah, very scary. Didn't go to the water at night, thank God.
Did you hear any sounds?
Yeah. So at night, almost every night I would go to sleep, I would hear this really slow thud. Almost every night. And there was one night that like I was up talking to some people that I was staying with out there, but I was staying in a trailer like aside by myself. And I went out kind of late. It was probably like 11 or maybe 11:30. So it was pitch black. Also where I was, there was no lights or light pollution, so the stars were incredible every night. Unless there was a little overcast, but the stars were awesome.
Yeah.
There was nothing out there. But every night I heard this really slow just thud. 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 And I don't know what it was.
And it wouldn't come in the day.
It wouldn't come in the day. I wouldn't hear it during the day. And it wasn't inside of the trailer. Like I would stand outside and hear it. Like in the distance. But there wasn't anything out there. Like I sent you a video.
Yeah.
There's nothing out there. So I don't know what that noise was. I don't know if it was some sort of oil rig making noise or something. But that was scary.
Oil rig that only runs at night to mess with Braden.
Yeah, like I guess things like that can run at night because realistically, no one's close enough for it to matter.
So weren't there like caves out there that you were saying too?
Yeah, there was apparently there's a whole cave system. We didn't go to it, but there's a whole cave system out there that you have to crawl through. Like there's a small opening, and you stand up, and it's like a huge cave.
Yeah.
But we didn't go there. I don't remember the name of it either.
Yeah, no, enclosed spaces in the earth like that, I'm going to say no. I'm going to say bad. Like, if you have to crawl somewhere on your hands and knees to get in, like, no. Earthquake, just getting stuck, just like, nah.
Not for you?
Nah.
Some people like that adrenaline.
There was a cave that I used to go into, that I used to climb into, but I don't think I would do it anymore. I think that's the one where it's like, I don't really like caves anymore.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the one up, it's like Spanish Fork.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one. Yeah, that one. I love that one. I remember.
I only went in that one like once, I think, and I was like, that's probably good enough for me.
Yeah. It's creepy. It's creepy to be in massive caverns beneath the earth.
Yeah, just like a big open space where there's the way out. But it's like, that's why I'm saying like catacombs and things like that would give me just the weirdest feeling. Just built into the earth like that, like a cave in Minecraft.
Love exploring caves in Minecraft.
Love that feeling.
Sometimes you get lost.
Sometimes you get lost, but hey, I can just dig out. I can't just dig out in real life.
No way, you're just fucked. You just starve and then you die. If just some rocks tumble in and you can't move them, it's just a waiting game. We're just massively afraid of death. I think it's just dying is just traumatic.
Dying would be traumatic.
So the caves out there, do you think like the mole people live in them, or is it like natives, or is it like
Oh, right.
like weirdos?
This is something I was telling you about. This is a term I had never heard before until I went out there. Is I guess there's a whole bunch of like crazy people that live out there, and they're called
Right.
cedar rats.
Cedar rats
Is what the people out there mostly call them. Multiple people have like used that term with me.
in like a sentence. Like what do they say?
I don't know, just like so the people I was staying with, they had some crazy stories about these people, and I guess they are just kind of sound like they're insane, and like they're kind of minimalist. They live in the woods, don't have much.
Right.
Some of them do work. I did confirm that because I was so curious about it. A relative of mine that was staying there mentioned that she saw one in the middle of the roads, butt naked with nothing but boots and a shotgun, and shot at her truck. Well, yeah.
Whoa.
While she was at work, and she's never gone back there since then because work, whatever. But I guess they're just crazy people. Like I don't even know how else to explain
There's just
it.
some weirdos out in the middle of nowhere because where else would they be? They have to be
Yeah.
somewhere. They have to exist somewhere.
Yeah, and they live up in the hills, and some of them live in trailers or small shacks, little shanties, but it's only clear up in the woods, like in a certain part of the area down there.
Have you ever seen the movie Us?
No.
Came out like a year ago.
You ever
Starts
seen the
with-
movie
it's-
Hills Have Eyes?
Yeah, yes, very scary. But Us starts with a quote about saying about how like most of America has like a shit ton of like underground, unoccupied, abandoned caves.
Right.
So it's like I don't know.
Yeah.
But do you think the sun just cooks their brains out there? Is just
Dude, I don't know
they've
what
just
it is.
never they were just their grandparents never went into society, and so they're just generations of inbreeding or weirdos or just isolated people who don't understand currency or social.
Well, that's the
norms.
thing though, is some of them have jobs and stuff. Like I guess some of them are normal and some of them aren't, but they live in the woods with like not in a house kind of thing, like a like bed in the dirt kind of thing. And like I don't know. I just thought that was a whole interesting thing that people have to deal with that out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, some of the cedar rats showed up today.
Yeah, I
They
saw a
tried to
cedar
trade
rat.
acorns for gas.
He tried to trade my dog for food. No, I told him that wasn't gonna work for me.
Holy shit.
His English was not good. Yeah, all sorts of crazy stuff out there though.
Anything else that happened out there? Or is that all the trucking tales you've got?
Oh, trucking tales.
Because you were out there for like 3 weeks.
I was out there for 3 weeks. My driving instructor was pretty balls to the wall. He was a very extreme man. His name was Steve. I like Steve. Steve was a good man. Shout out Steve. Yeah, no, he just took me to some pretty crazy places. Drove in the snow, drove at night with a semi truck. That's scary. It was scary. There's where we drove, there was a lot of deer, and it was like in the middle of nowhere. It was in the Book Cliffs, if anyone knows where that is.
No.
But it's basically on your way to a big, like the middle of nowhere, Colorado is where you're going.
I see.
And yeah, there's not a lot out there, but driving at night is really scary because if a deer or a cow or something is in the road, it's like sometimes you just gotta hope it gets out of the way
Yeah.
because there's nothing else you can really
Nothing
do.
You can do. At least you're in a semi though.
But
if
you
you're
just have
hitting
to,
it.
take it. Like I said earlier, you just have to take everything slow, and there's a lot to driving them. But yeah, it's pretty intense, especially out there.
Yeah. The fear of hitting animals at night is terrifying.
I know they do a lot of damage.
Yeah, I fucked up one of my first cars with doing that. A deer.
I did as well. It wasn't as bad as it could have been, but I did do that as well.
It sucks.
It
Shit
does suck. It's
Once
just the
that happens
worst.
to you, you're afraid of hitting a deer for the rest of your life.
I know every time you drive at night, you're just
Is it gonna happen again? Is it
Wired.
gonna ruin my night tonight? Whew.
It's the worst when you see them jump like on top of cars, like on top of windshields and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, please, no, not me. You ever see the videos of like moose walking out in front of cars?
Mm-hmm. Have you ever seen a bear? What a bear will do to a car if it gets hit?
I think the bear would almost like survive.
It would like destroy the car. I've seen like
For
minivans
sure.
destroyed or like trucks destroyed because bears are so big.
They're gigantic.
They're still getting hit by a giant car,
Right.
but the
But I
people in
feel
the
like
car are also fucked.
like a car going like 30 versus a bear. Like
I don't know,
I could
man.
see it. I could see him taking that hit.
What do you mean you can see? You
can
think the
see
bear's gonna walk off?
Maybe,
30
man.
mile per hour hit, bro? No, no.
Come on.
I hit my deer at like 35, and I can literally, it was 6 years ago, and I can see it in my brain if I wanted to recall it. I can see the shot of me. My hands are on the wheel of this old Acura, and it's just, it hits it. I hear a thud, and I see this deer just launch, like, no shit, 25 feet straight ahead, just up in the air, and just doof.
How far would you landed? How far would the bear would have landed?
Bear wouldn't have, I don't think bear moves that much.
You think the bear would have survived?
No, I don't think the bear survives.
Come on. The bear would
The
have survived.
Acura CL, the 92 CL, I don't know, man. Maybe 98 CL, I don't know what it was. Maybe.
Is that the one Noah drives?
Uh-huh.
Really?
Yep.
You hit a deer in that car?
Uh-huh. That's why it's got a red hood on it.
I know,
And
but
it's a blue car.
I always see Noah and I wave at him and he doesn't wave back. Why doesn't your
Noah's
brother
a
like me?
gangster, bro. He's probably getting sloppy in the in the car. He's probably focusing on something. I don't know. Noah's a goddamn king.
I hope your mom doesn't listen to this episode.
I mean, it's not grounded. Noah's never told me that he's done that. So it's just me making.
This is not set in stone.
It's just me making assumptions because I think my little brother's a fucking baller. Shout out to Noah. Shout out to Tester Lane on YouTube, Twitch.
Shout out Batman Studios.
Batman Studios. What is up?
I think we mentioned him in like our 3rd episode ever of this podcast.
I think he wanted to come on. Did he? Was he ever on?
Did that happen?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
It would have been.
I
He would
feel
have been. He would have been a lot younger then.
He would have been a lot younger then. I feel like he has said something on the podcast before.
Right. I feel like that too. Longtime viewers will remember Noah.
Longtime viewers know who Noah is.
Not that we can recall the episode that he was or was not in, but you might.
You might.
The real fans. The only fans.
Oh, jeez. Well, Rye, we're coming on to the end of the episode and also the end of the year. Are you excited for the new year?
Yeah, man. 2020 was crazy for sure. It was wild. We got the COVID.
We did.
Everything else is kind of a blur in between and after and before.
I wonder why.
Yeah, the long-term effects have fried our brain.
Of COVID.
COVID
has fried us.
We can't remember anything. We can't function correctly. We can't. I don't know. Is there anything you want to see next year? Is there anything you want to see happen, make happen? Is there anything big for Bray?
Oh man, get some work done. I would like to go on like a vacation with my friends.
Oh, that'd be awesome. I'd love that.
That would
I
be
just
awesome.
I just love when I can't wait till we can vacation and it's not like, oh, we're vacationing in a pandemic.
Right. I have no idea when that'll happen. I always see shit. It's like, oh, this will last till 2020, blah blah blah, and I'm like, oh man. But I think either way, even if we did, I feel like I have to go on some sort of vacation next year.
Yeah.
Regardless of what's going on.
Yeah, I feel like once it starts to warm up, we can even realistically just start doing trips to like the national parks in Utah. I think would be really cool.
Yeah.
Just something simple,
there's plenty of
close.
Yeah, there's plenty to do in Utah. That's beautiful. So.
But where would you want to go? And in like a dream sense, where would you want to go?
I don't know. I would want to save some money, but Japan would be amazing.
Oh, I totally agree.
I talked to Josh about it.
Totally agree.
He said he would, be hospitable.
Josh Argadon?
Yeah,
That's dope. Yeah, he's told me that too. I just want to go. I want to see all the stuff from your name.
that would be cool.
I just want to see that the stairs, and oh man, I love it. I love that
Is
anime.
there
I
a
watched that
place
yesterday.
there that's like where that specifically where that is?
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah, it's way cool. Japan would be way cool. You'd want to go. Do you want to do like Europe at all or anything, or not as much?
Europe would be cool, but I think Japan would be number one on my list.
Yeah, Japan's just kind of hard though because we don't speak Japanese.
Not at all.
Do they? Do you know how? Do they speak English a lot? I mean, I know it's like kind of a, but like they shouldn't. I'm not saying they should.
Yeah. I
But
think
would it be hard for us to like navigate or get around?
I don't know. I know our buddy Matt. He did it, and
Yeah.
like was fine. I think we would be able to get by. Like we wouldn't run in. I don't think we would have any issues. But then again, you never know. I don't know, man. I've never been there. Okay, ask Matt. But there could be some sort of problem. I mean, there may always be a problem
That's
as
true.
a foreigner entering a new country. How was Europe?
Europe was way cool. And I was thinking about this, how cool it was that nothing like went terribly wrong. Because you always hope, or you always,
Hope
like try to
nothing goes
prepare that nothing goes wrong, and you always hope that nothing goes wrong. And yeah, it's always great when those trips don't have anything that goes tremendously wrong. But that was like the coolest trip. I just hope that I get to go again. I would love to see Paris again. I'm just worried that like they don't ever want us gross Americans back after we've handled this pandemic.
Yeah, just all sorts of things. I would still like to visit all sorts of countries, despite of where I'm from.
Yeah, I'll get any vaccine to travel. I don't give a shit what you know what I mean? Like if it's like a doctor who's putting it in, yeah, sure. Like we don't question the amount of like all the fast food that we eat ever. It's like how could that be better than like a vaccine that's tested by doctors?
Yeah, I don't know.
Silly.
It is. I don't know. It could be crazy, but
I'm also fine with wearing a mask forever. I'm fine with
Forever?
concealing my face. Like not like obviously like not indoors like in my own home, but I'm saying like if I have to wear it out, because it's like now you look at like if you look at like movies or pictures of just how life used to be, it's like oh shit we can't do that now because like everyone like we. These crowded stations of people, these crowded concerts, these masses of people that were like so casually fine. We don't do that anymore.
I know,
And
but
so
we
it's like-
did that is like last year.
Right. And so it's like, I don't know. Who gives a shit if it's just a piece of cloth covering your face while you're doing it? I don't know. It's whatever it takes to get things back to normal, to have that quality of life back.
Just to get that back. Eventually, I would like to see it go back to no mask ever, but we will see how it goes.
I think if I'm ever, I don't know. I'm not saying that I want to wear it forever. I'm saying I'm
Right.
fine with wearing it forever if that's the trade-off of like seeing the world,
Yeah, if that's the drawback, you'll do it.
Yeah, for sure. Who gives a shit? I hate people who think it's such an inconvenience.
It's really not too bad if you can throw it on real
It's
fast.
like they look cool as shit. Cover your ugly, cold face anyways, dude. Like, I don't want to see your mouth move when you talk.
Yeah,
Just
but
cover
what if we lived in Florida and like it would be real moist on your face? You know what I mean? Like imagine humidity, like all that. Like
Humanity isn't meant to survive in Florida, and that's why all Floridians are fucking weirdos. It's because their brains are getting fried out there. It's because it's so humid and it cooks them. It just all the
they got different
gators and
air.
all the weird shit and all the gators in the water that eat their babies and their dogs.
putting something in the air. You know that thing they pumped the air full of stuff to like kill the West Nile mosquitoes.
Yeah,
It's something like that is interacting with their brains out there, and
it's chemtrails, man.
I don't know, something's
those-
happening.
How come only some? Have you ever read into chemtrails?
No.
I remember I had a friend who used to believe in that shit.
What?
That's the one with the planes where the planes fly and sometimes it leaves like a trail and sometimes it doesn't.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure there's like an actual explanation for it, but the conspiracy dumbasses are like, oh, they're injecting chemicals into society. Now, here's the thing about that is that all these crazy conspiracy theories when you say them, they're crazy, but it's also some bullshit that America has done in their past, like in the last 60 to 200 years.
Mhm.
You can like look it up, and America has tested bullshit like that, but from dropping on planes into like the masses. And it's like not necessarily like big areas, but like places where people are so they can see what happens.
Uh-huh.
And it's like that's happened. And so it's like it isn't the craziest thing to say it, but it is crazy to say it now. When like, oh, that plane that's has normal people on it is
Chemtrails.
yeah, it's like you're silly. You're InfoWars, Alex Jonesing your
Yeah.
way through life for no reason.
Yeah, there's a lot of things to believe. I choose to look at the chemtrail and hope I'm just breathing air.
I just hope it makes my skin clearer. I just hope it
Please, no more acne. If you're dropping anything, just no more acne.
no more. Do everyone a favor. Do society a favor.
Do society a favor. Not that my acne's too bad, but I mean, shit. Do anything and do
Just-
that.
It just
Come on.
you just hate it. You just hate to deal with it.
Right. Well, is there anything else you would like to take care of in the new year? Anything you want to do besides travel?
I mean, there's little things that I have, but you just never know what it's gonna be.
I know you mentioned skydiving.
I did. That was a couple months ago. I'm still on the fence about that because
Gotcha.
I was interested for it in February because I turned 24, and I kind of want to go skydiving. I thought that would be cool, but I don't know. I'm kind of playing it by ear because it's like then again it's like if is
Then
it
again,
like
it's
irresponsible?
skydiving.
I'm skydiving in a pandemic, so like there's gonna be dudes strapped to my back, breathing on my neck.
It's whatever.
But it's like is it irresponsible as me as a consumer to do things like that in a
No.
pandemic?
I would
You
say
don't think
no.
so?
If he's there to work, then you're there to do your thing, right?
I don't know.
I would say yeah.
That's the trade-off. Would you feel the same way about like restaurants, movie theaters?
I don't know about restaurants and movie theaters, but if I'm going to work, I'm there to work. If he's there working, he's there working. Like is that how that's
But
that's
it's
how
the
I see
same.
it.
Wouldn't it apply to restaurants and movie theaters in
I
that
mean,
same
sure,
capacity? Because they're not being able to not work. They're still expected to. But it's like a
They
pandemic.
are still expected to, but I don't know. I haven't been going balls to the walls on like sit down restaurants or anything
Definitely
like
sparingly,
that. You know?
very far and few.
Yeah, like I've gone to like one or two, I
Yeah.
think, with my family, one with Shay.
Mm-hmm.
But
Like
I don't
mostly
know.
drives through these days, right?
yeah, mostly drive through for me. But yeah, if you're, that's what I would say. And if you don't like it, then you can try and make a job change, or I don't know. But I know it's way harder than it seems.
It
but,
is hard.
That's all it is. You know, if you work in that industry, you have to be ready for some sort of fluctuation in industry, something that can change at any time, because that's how everything is, right?
I suppose. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing anyone can do when shit changes like this.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
if the industry
You can
changes,
only
which
adapt.
if everything changes, then if you want to get out, get out. If you want to stay in, stay in. That's really what it comes down to. But
It's,
yeah,
it's so much more
hard.
complicated than that, though, because it's not necessarily if you want to go out, you go out, because it's the people need to work. There's no incentive for
that's
them to not
true.
work,
Then-
and so they have to go. It's not.
I know
it's so much harder because
it is hard.
there's this influx of like, how much do we need to consume, but I don't know at what point should you draw limitations on what you shouldn't. It's like, why would you say you shouldn't do this because of that? But I don't know. It's because it's a pandemic.
I don't know. Like I've had it. I already had my bit. I'm fine going to work and doing whatever.
Yeah.
After, I'm good with that. Like I've come to terms with that. So if I'm going somewhere, if I'm going to work to work and do that, like I'm taking the risk and doing whatever because I'm ready to move on past this like pandemic stuff. And I know a lot of people are working from home and like that's like super easy and that's a lot better than the alternative of
I mean, there's
working to an
trade-offs to
office.
work from home.
There's
for sure.
trade-offs to work from home.
It's
I didn't-
depressing as hell.
super depressing. It was hard for me. Might be great for others. But
I guess there. I mean, I'm sure there's some jobs that people have been working for years that have been like, I could do this at home, and they don't need me to come into office.
uh-huh.
But then there are jobs where Maybe like I think jobs like customer service jobs where you have to like deal with people. It's nice to have a building where you deal with it and then you leave the building. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you leave the call, you leave the work there, and you go to, you go home. And when
I
you
just
are
like.
doing customer service at home, you just are stuck with that feeling.
I think that's the best way to do it. Like, you know, have work at work, home at home. Keep it separated.
Definitely.
You know, way to live healthy. But yeah,
I want a PC by 2021.
that's huge. I want you to have a PC by
I
2021.
just want to play PC games with you. I'm sick of playing Fortnite on my Switch.
Yeah.
I have an Xbox One, but it won't let me sign into my account on it. It's
Right.
dumb, so I'm just playing on a Switch. Still killing it though. What?
Still killing it. Still slaying. We'll get you on the PC game.
Still,
with all
yeah.
the
I just want
boys.
to, point and click.
Point and click is way better.
Big fan of that. That sounds like a much more accurate input method.
Yeah, it is. You'll get used to it in like a week, and then it's way better.
Yeah.
No more controller.
I kind of want a new motorcycle, a different one. I want to sell my old, but I love my old motorcycle. I love it. But I want a new one because mine is also old. Mine's a '96.
Mm-hmm. When
So
are you gonna break that tear, that bond?
I don't know. That's sad. Don't say it like that, because then I'll say never. But I don't know. It was a great first bike. It is a great first bike. I love it.
It was a good first bike. How many people's first bike was it, do you think?
I don't think it. I think I was like the second or third owner.
You were?
Yeah.
Someone had it for a long time.
Yeah. Luke's mom had it for a long time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then that's how I got it. Because I was interested in I really wanted a motorcycle last year. And then when Luke and I lived together, he was like, yeah, my mom's selling a motorcycle. And I was like, oh, hell yeah. And I got it. And I love it. But yeah, we're gonna probably end it here.
Yeah. It's been a good year. I'm glad you guys spent it with us, and I'm glad you guys listened to the end of this episode. We appreciate you listening.
Thank you. We love you.
We love you. Goodbye.
Bye.